preparing. Cool. We should be live now, guys.
They got it.
They got it.
So good evening, everyone. Welcome back. So let me just set here. Cool. I think it's all working fine. So tonight we have a guest from Barcelona. We're gonna have a Niceshit studio talking to us. Just before the introduction, I'm just gonna play a little short film from the guys, and we get back in 2 seconds. Let me just share this. Second, just make sure sound's on. Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just gonna.
Some days, chronic pain can be crushing. It feels like you've tried everything, only to end up with the same pain and a little less hope. But heroes can come in funny shapes. Our heroes aren't doctors or magic medicines. They're scientists, and they've given us new hope by discovering 3 easy steps to treat chronic pain. Step 1, learn about pain. There's a massive gap between the way research says we should treat pain and what's being done in practice. You can jump over that gap by learning the science of pain, directing treatment at the underlying cause of your pain, and feel hopeful as the path to recovery becomes clear. Step 2, learn about your body. Having chronic pain often makes us feel like our body is broken. Learning about your body shows a different side. Instead of wearing out like your favourite t-shirt, the body gets stronger with use. Knowing how your body responds to injury and movement can completely transform your sense of what is possible. Step 3, retrain your pain system. Pain is complex and different for everyone, but an overprotective pain system is almost always part of the problem. Evidence shows that some simple daily activities can help your body recover, and that's when chronic pain begins to disappear. These steps are simple, but tackling them is easier when you have help. Head to permissiontomove.com to get started.
Nice, guys. Very nice. I like the mixed media.
Yeah. I have to say, every time Thiago shares his screen, I'm just thankful it's not something filthy appears.
No, I got better on that, James. I know how to share just the video. Okay, I don't share my screen anymore. That never happened.
Keep that to your iPad.
Yeah. Cool, guys. So we have a Niceshit studio today. Before we start, do you guys mind just say your name and what you do in the company so people know you guys?
Yes. Well, hi everyone. I'm Carmen, one of the director and founder of Niceshit Studio. We are based in Barcelona since 5 years, I think now. And yeah, welcome and thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, we are. I'm Guido, and we are the 3 founders and directors of the studio.
And I'm Rodier, of course, the other founder, and mostly art director, illustrator on the studio.
Yes.
Yeah. So
welcome to Sinoevo, guys. Thank you so much.
I kind of feel like the first question should be, who came up with the name and what was the rationale?
Well, I actually, like last week, someone else asked me about the name history. So I think this started when the guys were working in a studio back in Argentina, and one of the client, every time that they were sending work in progress, the client answered with Niceshit.
Yeah.
So apparently he was happy. And so, yeah, I think from that.
And that studio, that's where we all meet.
Yeah.
In this very studio. And how was his name? Rolo.
It was Niceshit Rolo, and so it's like really funny.
And we had a short list of names, and this came up as a joke, just a joke, and it began to be a little bit serious. And hey, Niceshit sounds okay. It's okay. I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, like we actually had our doubts like over the years. Like when we started, it was like 6-7 years ago, and we were like more of a like teenager studio, if you can say. And also like when you think, like we were all living in Argentina, Buenos Aires, and so like using like English like words, it's not the same than when you become to to work worldwide. And over the years, like it's not like every few years we kind of like doubt about it, but then like fortunately like most of the clients like laughed about it, and sometimes it's like really good icebreaker for a lot of calls,
definitely.
and we get a lot of jokes and emails.
It's a good content,
but and then like it actually almost never like stopped us or like from
actually don't know.
We don't know.
Someone is not contacting us for our name.
We actually we are working on our new website, and since we're working, it's like we only had one website since we started, so we're doing like our second one, and we thought like since we're doing a new website, like we think about the name, and we started like we went nuts for like 2 weeks, like talking and like writing names, and then it's like no, just let's see.
I think we at this point, I don't know, there's no point to change it. It's already there. People who know us already like they're gonna.
It's established.
Yeah, exactly.
Most of the people I told that we're gonna change name, they get very disappointed. Like, no, you shouldn't. So it was like a focus group.
We're trying to become like adults, and
but I think it's a
grown up shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Grown shit doesn't sound good, like grown shit.
No, that's true. But you can branch it out as well, like if you like start an accountancy firm, it could be like serious shit or whatever.
I think also it's like a process that we have like every year or every couple of years. It's like, oh, okay, it's time to change our name. And then it's basically we go on therapy and analyze it and then decide, okay, no, not do it.
For a branding, a slick branding studio, serious shit would be nice.
But yeah,
that's true.
Yeah. I don't know. It's something that we think, and I like what Carmen said about it takes us into like at least like 2 weeks a year therapy about us. So
at least you guys choose like an English name, I remember like years ago before the studio be Cookie, and we used to call Cake. It used to be me and Poku, and we made a list of names, and always like Spanish language, and I said, it should be like Los Muertos, and let's do it. We did it like the whole visual ident, and I said, man, I already need to spell my name every time I'm gonna give an email, and then I need to spell the URL. I said, man, I'm gonna spend 5 minutes just to get, and how many emails we're gonna miss, people not gonna get what you speak. So at least you guys have like an English name that makes it easier,
Yeah, no, it's fine. I think now it's too late to change it, and
But it is a good name. It is a good name. As you said as well, it's kind of icebreaker, because you always can make the joke as well. You can be a bit more like playful on the emails. It's time to be serious.
Yeah, and it's always like the first question when we need to do like interview or like speak about our studio. It's always come up like, okay, who come up with the name? So I think it has a nice background.
It's a good thing you've had the work to back it up as well, because otherwise that would have been an absolute disaster.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we were just mixing words, and then just these two appears.
I don't know. Like I would like. We should let Rolo know about this. Like
I don't know who he is actually.
Yeah, but like this is what the other guy.
Just know the name.
Yeah, there's someone else.
The client. We should let him know that.
Yeah.
How many years ago was that? Was that like 7 years ago or so? Wasn't it?
Or 8.
No, I think it's 10 years ago.
Yeah, because like that was something that happened before, but it just kept
way back home.
I think kind of like jumped into like the name list.
It's kind of funny to get an email 10 years later out of the blue saying, "Hey, we named the studio because of you."
Thank you.
It's a good time, but yeah.
So because you just going back, you guys start pretty much in Argentina, and moved to Barcelona after. So how always starts? What is the background you guys have? You know, how that always start together? You just met.
Yeah, well, I can say my side, like our side. We all met in the studio that Raul mentioned. We met in the studio that now it doesn't exist anymore. I think it's called Tunga. So the guys were working there, and I did my internship there. So we all worked together there. And then after several other opportunities to work around in Argentina, at one point we decided to team together.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, like we started, the two of us met in that studio, and then we went to work into other studios.
Yeah.
Like you went to Animate,
Yeah.
I went to Plenty, and for Human.
I was a freelance.
Freelance, and then and at one point, which is something that I think it clicked when we were working together before, and something we keep in mind is like let's make a studio together. And then Carmen went back from London to Argentina, like to build the studio. It was super nice. Like she came actually from Sweden to Buenos Aires to an internship, went back to London, and then back to build the studio in Buenos Aires. So it's pretty crazy.
It's a long way around.
Yeah. Sort of.
But it wasn't really the idea at the beginning. I think at the beginning.
And all the time, like Roddy and me were in Buenos Aires, and you were
exactly. I was just traveling around. No, but I think none of us knows that we were creating a studio. I think the idea was like, okay, we are all gonna go freelancing, and then we realized that it was easier to work as a team and like just make things a bit, I don't want to say better, but it was just a bit more in a productive way than to have things separate. So yeah, it started with like a couple of projects, and then we were like, okay, let's do this. We didn't really plan to have a studio, but
I never actually like work since I started. I work at always at studios, and like whenever I freelance was like like over like late nights, or I personally was never a full-time freelance. I started working in studios, and then like we put together my own studios. You had like a little bit of time of freelance.
Yeah, and actually I had a few chances to get with someone else to make a studio, or just make a project, and not thinking about a studio, but make a project together with someone else. And it didn't flow, and it wasn't what I wish it would have been, but it's very hard to be, how do you say,
too much.
Too much. Exactly. It's very hard. So for me, in my experience, in a few chances, it wasn't.
Didn't click.
I think it's kind of a relationship in the end of the day.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
You just don't know until you're in that situation either. Like you could be really good work colleagues, really good friends, but that's a different dynamic to set up a studio together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think we were not thinking really like. I think like us, like 5 years ago, we were not thinking we were going that far. So, I mean, like we didn't really have a plan. It was like, okay, let's work together and let's make a studio. And we have a plan from now to like 3 months ahead. And that's basically how we keep working, I think.
Yeah, we felt comfortable with it.
Yeah, and for a couple of years, we were just the three of us. And then since 2 years, we started hire a bit more people. We like one amazing producer that helped us, but she's not here now. But we managed to set up this room without her, and and some others like an amazing designer, and I
think it's something that Carmen said. Like the other day, like I think it's. Like week after week, we're like kind of trying to figure out like our studio, or how to have a studio, or I don't know. It never has been like we never planned like too far along. Like it felt natural. Sometimes like we whenever we had the chance of or an opportunity or a project that made us go like to the next level or the next step, like we felt it and we were really grateful and we put our work. But I think it's kind of like it happens and then we just trying to keep working and then it happens. But not so much of a like long term. Like no one taught us. Like we don't know how to have a studio. Like we are designers and animators.
Yeah, and also it's like we now we know how to have a studio that we have, like how we have it now, but we don't know like next year how it's gonna look. But yeah, it's like solving problem that we have on our way, basically.
Yeah, but it has been like really fun.
And are you guys enjoying now?
Yeah, I think like every step of the way is sometimes like when you change like positions or like your work changes or responsibilities, transitions sometimes are hard, but then there's lots of rewards. And I think for us, like the best thing about like our studio growing is being able to work with more people. Yeah, since the beginning it was just the two of us for like 4 years. I think like we couldn't afford freelancers. Never.
Yeah, and we had our very hard times. Yeah.
And then like when we managed to get bigger projects and starting to work with people, it was the best, like on the human side and being able to be surrounded by people, but also like our work like spiked, like when we weren't able to like add like talented people to our team. Like you can we know our portfolio and we know like when people start and we know like when our work goes way up.
Because even looking like the short film we play in the beginning, because I follow you guys quite a long time, and you guys come more from like the traditional 2D animation, no? And looking kind of more like. Even this video, you can see there is like a stronger mixed media with like more
big element to it, yeah.
Also like the 3D elements, everything is really nice. So you can see the development of the studio through the years as well. Do you think that that's because you guys having, be able to use freelancers now, you can open the creative solutions you guys want to supply to clients as well?
Yeah, I think it's a mix, especially in that case, since that video, it was pretty long and talking about like really abstract content, we thought it would be better and a bit more digestive, basically, and a bit lighter to like just create something like with mixed media, and also with something that we always like to try. So I think, and also kind of like try ourselves and see how we work with like 3D and like to involve different people and create different technique for each scene. I think it was more like kind of a test ourselves and see if it's something that we can do. But yeah. And
yeah,
I think
it was a bit of a mix. Like it was a very like low budget project. There was like this doctor that wrote a book about like how to treat chronic pain. And he was amazing. And he was putting like as much as he could on the project. And the subject was really nice. And of course, you have the balance of creative freedom. Yeah. So yeah, we put up this team like mixed media, something that we always like. And I think the work of the two of us was more on the whiteboard and on the storyboard. That was, I think, whenever I see that project, I'm really proud about the ideas and all the I still like we're watching now. It's still feel it's really clever, and we put like tons and tons of hours to the storytelling to make the scenes like not so complicated. If you see our work, like it's usually not so complicated. We try to keep it simple, and we try to we work a lot on the storyboard, on the whiteboard, and ideas to. Whenever we go to design or animation, everything is really understood. We need for everything to feel that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's really important for us that everything makes sense. So that, I don't know, it was beautiful, that work. And then like we had tons of people to help us, mainly friends.
Yeah. I think the good thing,
we've been very lucky.
Yeah, very lucky. And also I think like we've been playing with 3D a lot more than our portfolio shows, but for us, I think the most exciting thing was like the puppets and live action. We never done that. We have puppets in the back. And so I think that was like, for us, that it was the only time we did it, I think, so far. And after that, I think we tried it in every pitch. We just want to shoot puppets because it was amazing. I don't know. I think that for us, like, clicked something that, I don't know, we really enjoyed. And, you know, spending 2 days, like we shot it right here in the studio, also right with my friends and, you know, people who helped us. And it was, I don't know, it was so nice.
And that was the day before the lockdown.
Yeah.
We shot.
It was like our party, basically. It was a party before the lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I think, you know, in terms of styles, like, we always would try to do something different. I think it's not like the technique or the style hopefully we get to be our way of thinking of our direction or style that goes behind, you know, whatever like output the video is.
Yeah.
So if you, you know, if you're trying like new styles each time, what is it about your work that you think brings it together as a body of work? Because there's definitely a common thread through everything, even though the styles are not necessarily the same in each animation. I
think one of the key things is that like the three of us direct all the projects together. We don't split jobs. Like there's no project there's like the three of us are in every project. It's not like, you know, Rodia has one or Carmen has one. And something that, I don't know. And it's like, if you think like maybe like economically, it's not like the most efficient thing, if you mind, like, but I don't know. It's just the way we function. We need to check with each other and everybody.
I mean, especially at the beginning, and also something that I think besides the style we pick for a project, then is like the storytelling is something that we are really focused into. Develop and into put our energy in, and I think that is connecting on what Guido was saying, that we try to be to direct the three of us at the same time. It depends on project, but normally, like if we have like a project like the one that we shown, then it's something that we still the three of us really like. And
also there's something in every project that this was an example that getting something complex and showing it very in a simple way, you know, and we will always try to not to overcomplicate, even in animation, in anything, just being simple, as much simple as we can, but beautifully.
I think, you know, the whiteboard stage is really important for us. Like, I think that's like in every studio that we have, we need actually many whiteboards, because that's the way, this is the way we work. Like, we want to stand up and move around and just throw ideas on the whiteboard, and you can see everything at the same time, instead of on a slide. Like, you see it when you see a storyboard, you see all at the same time, all the ideas, and I don't know. And I something also working together so long, we are really confident in shutting down ideas, or really appreciating ideas. The best idea wins. Is that that has been forever, and we all know, even if you like an idea a lot and a better idea comes, it's that's better, and you have to, I don't know,
you have to admit it.
I think we take a lot of joy and pride in the thinking behind each project, and I think we've been lucky enough in the past years to be in contact for that, for our humor, or for the way we think. Not only
that's good.
I always think it's quite it's very difficult to take an idea and distill it down to just the essentials. I think when you see something simple that looks nice, I don't think enough people appreciate the skill it takes to make it look simple and nice.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And do you guys feel, as you said, you three always kind of direct together, and it's nice to have three brains to, thinking idea and bouncing back there. Do you guys feel sometimes also it makes more complicated as well? Because if you guys have suddenly complete different ideas. You know, how the dynamic work between you three.
What if one of you goes on holiday? What happens then?
Vito.
Just go on holiday together.
No jobs.
The job. No. No.
I don't know if it's complicated. I think we can like really argue for ideas because, you know, how much we like to push for our ideas. So
yeah, I think
we can argue.
Yeah, we can argue, but I think since we've been working together for such a long time, we already know the dynamics when we know that an idea works, besides of who threw on the table that idea. So you just like be kind of honest and just say like, okay, this is working, that's fine. Like it doesn't matter who gave the idea.
And it's not only like the two of us, like we like whenever like with all the people on the studio, whenever we're like brainstorming or doing storyboard, like everyone is invited. We always like mess around with Augusta, like our producer, like we joke around that she in her contract has to like provide one idea per storyboard. So
one shot, at least one shot.
When we were blocked, it's like, Augusta, where's your idea? Where's your idea? You like your contract idea. Yeah. But I think that's, whenever we're brainstorming, like we were saying, like the best idea wins, even like if it's not ours. Like,
so you guys are obviously based in Barcelona at the moment, but why did you pick like Barcelona over, say, like Buenos Aires or London or wherever? You know, why did you settle for Barcelona?
When we were in Buenos Aires, we had two options actually. It was Berlin or Barcelona, and I don't know why we were thinking about Berlin.
I remember why.
Barcelona is warmer.
No,
absolutely.
The idea was like
beach,
the idea was like we were thinking on Berlin, and then I went on holiday for New Year's Eve, and I was like, no, this is too cold. Please let's change plan. And also, I mean, I'm not Spanish, but setting up a company in like a German country didn't seem so easy in Spain. And I think it was like a mix.
Yeah, but it was really easy after that. We have a lot of friends. We had a lot of friends in Barcelona at the time. And when we came here we came here in November of 2016. And in June, we had like a little trip for, I don't know, a field, a field recognizing the field, and it was amazing. It was the first day we were here. It felt like home, so it was really easy.
You know, a lot of like a lot of creators from London moved to Barcelona as well.
Really?
It was already quite, there's quite a good creative field there already established, so I guess it makes things easier to have a company because you've got like good freelance talent and all that kind of side of things as well.
Yeah, I think it was like a mix of things. Like we had like I'm not from Argentina, so we all knew when we started the studio that the idea was to, I don't know, like I don't want to say I don't want to say make things serious, but like, okay, let's move and go back and come back to Europe. And we didn't know where, and I think that was this city was not only for the comfortable things side of the language, but also the economic side, that like to start a little company, it felt easier in Spain than in a city like London, that maybe for like a small business can be a bit more expensive. So I think that was more or less the idea behind it.
I think it was a great call. In the first months I was here in Barcelona, it felt like a amusement park. Like the beach, in the winter you have the mountains to go snow. I don't know.
And I think like 6 years after, like it's still like, or even more, feels like home.
Yeah, absolutely. And also, well, I don't know if this is the next question, but at the same time, like since the studio is kind of growing, like on the work aspect, it doesn't like really matter where we are, because
Yeah.
this is our lifestyle, and we have the comfortable side of the language and like quality of life in general. But at the end of the day, we don't really work for Spain. I mean, yes, we do, but like I really like the 10% of our project are made from Spain.
It's kind of
So
interesting, like,
or even less. And
if you
I
go
think
back
Yeah, I don't think we're known like since we're kind of like a hybrid, because we started in Buenos Aires, like landed in Spain, but then like probably 70% of our work is for the States or UK. So like we're not like, you don't know where we are. Like, I think we're more like maybe like an US studio.
Yeah,
Even if you look at so like we don't get that much Spanish shouts. So we don't fight with our friends.
But I think it's, but also it's like kind of an aspect of our job. It's like, okay, it doesn't really matter where we are, especially now.
Especially nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, who cares? Like, not who cares, but like we are here, and it's good to have a nice studio. And but
in terms of like hiring people, like there's a lot of people who really like. I think it's a nice city to live. It's a really nice city to live. So whenever like if you want to hire people or something like that, I think they will. It's a great place to come, and also we can see that when summer comes, like a lot of interns want to come to Barcelona. I don't think
that's like a working holiday, isn't it?
Studio, or they want to come to Barcelona. So we're never like, when we get like many emails like, this is for our work, or they want to come to Barcelona too.
No, but I
really appreciate every email of internship application.
It's good that, when you go back, like say like 10, 15 years ago, where your address was based, you could only really start a company in certain cities to be taken seriously, as it were. Whereas now, like you're saying, like, it doesn't really matter where you're based, as long as you've got like an internet connection, well, a decent internet connection, because you're sending files. Then isn't, like you say, it doesn't really matter. It's just a website and an email address. As long as the work's there and you're easy to work with, it doesn't matter where you are.
Yeah, I think especially after this whole pandemic, And talking about just bringing whatever you are, I want to bring a subject I've always liked talking about, like employees, and the people to work, because you guys said like in the last 2 years, you guys start having more, let's say, members of staff, work with you guys. And especially after all this pandemic, do you guys work, like we've been seeing more and more people work remotely, but now also start opening more for people full-time work remotely. Do you guys mainly everyone work on the studio, or do you guys have like remotely staff that, and how that been going with you guys?
Yeah. Well, now we actually, for the first time, we are trying to have like our first full-time designer. She's gonna work. She's working remotely from Italy, but I will say it depends. It's something new for us, because I'm always the one like that likes to be in the studio and have people around, especially on like our way of working, and like with the brainstorming process. I think it's something really important for us to be together.
And it's easier,
and I think there are some parts that are still easier to be in the same working space. I mean, at this time, maybe it doesn't really matter if it's like a full-time week that we spend together, but I think there are certain moments that are really, I think useful to be in the same working space, and a bit faster in the sense of like, communication. It depends, but since a couple of months we are trying to work with her remotely, so who knows what's going to happen. But at the same time, we have someone else coming soon in the studio, and he's going to be super happy to be in like together.
I think we mainly like, we are our in-house studio. Like whenever like if you have to put like a word like remote or in-house, like we are an in-house studio. Like the three of us has became, and Augusta, the producer, and Bianca, who's the designer, that she came back to Italy now. But our studio is made of 5 people now. Yeah. The two of us, one Gusta, who's a producer, and Bianca, who's a designer and illustrator, and she's the only one working from Italy. Yeah, she has been working for us about that's here. And then, as Carmen said, we have, we are like you notice by now, like a really small team. It's just the 3 partners and 2 more people, and then we having our first like senior animator coming on January, who we are really excited about. And
and then I will say, well, this is our core, and then we have a big team of freelancer and friends. That I will say is like half and half. That like normally the people that are in Barcelona, they're trying to come in, also because I think after since the pandemic, people that are here, they're quite grateful to be in the studio. I think, and I think it's fun for us as well. And then we have other freelancers that work in different time zone in different countries. So yes, of course, we have like teams of freelancers working abroad. But I will say the core and the idea of studio is like in-house.
I think it's a mix. It's a mix. Like usually is whenever we have like a few projects going on, is our small core team, and then the freelancers team is split between like half Barcelona-based freelancer that comes to the studio. Like if we're working with someone in Barcelona, it most likely is going to be a friend of ours, so he will come to work along with us and have lunch and all that. And then I think we do half and half, because we really like to have like part of the team in the same place. I think like for us, remote work works super well, but we really like I just look at this, or like every few minutes, like I don't know, look at something.
Yeah, the flow of the work.
Yes, and then the other part of the team, remote team, I think it's really good to pick like specialists. Like this guy or this girl is really good at doing that, and just focus on that. And doesn't, you don't have to worry about that artist being in Barcelona. But I think like that, I think that was something like happened like naturally or accidentally for us. And it was like and I think that's the best structure that we work with, is having like the half of the team like with us for like quick response, or, like day-to-day flow. And then like, have the specialists that you need for that particular project, like wherever they are. And
how do you deal with like multiple time zones if you're got like remote specialists in different parts of the world?
Sometimes it helps, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's very comfortable because you have the files when you get into the studio at 10 a.m. And depending on where the client is, it makes things easier or not.
Yeah, I think it's I will say, like, as long as the person that you're working, it's like in a different time zone, you need to have a little bit of trust on this person that is going to.
That's quite difficult sometimes if you've never worked with them before.
But that's why we are kind of, I don't want to say picky, but like we always work with the same people because we already know how the workflow is. Yeah. And even if they are in different time zones, we know what we're going to expect when we wake up, or when this person wake up, we know what he or she is going to do.
I think it was so, like, I remember like when we're doing like Kettle, I think there was the Kettle campaign. I think we had like a huge team, and there was like so many time zones, but it was very useful because like we could brief like 1/3 of the team at 10 a.m., 1/3 of the team like after lunch, and 1/3 of the team like before closing the day. Yeah. And if we have to brief like 12 or 15 people at the same time, it would be crazy. So you have like, it kind of like split it. It was like Canada, Australia. Yeah, we had like everything. So it was like really useful. It's like, hey, I briefed this one, he's working, and then she's working, and then, so I think I remember like that example was like, it was pretty exhausting, but because we were like had to be like focused all day, you couldn't really
video calls all day.
Sometimes it's pretty funny that the studio is open 24 hours.
True.
Yeah, it's good. I think I don't know, having the studio in São Paulo the last few years, I think because we similar with Argentina, but like having the 4 hours different, sometimes it's good, but like London is stopped now and the guys in Brazil are still working. So for us, it's like we get some stuff to watch in the morning, so we can, it kind of what you said, it's been like 24 hours. You always, you can give some stuff to that person gonna work in the night. So when you come in the morning, you have that dynamic, you always have something to show. It's good for short deadlines as well, because you having the split team, you can work nicely.
Like you can miss like briefing the Canada artists before going to sleep. It will be like a whole day. So, but like for that one, that was like pretty. I don't know, like
It worked. Yeah.
There's a question on the YouTube channel from Andres, so it kind of leads in quite well. He's saying, what do you look for in a portfolio?
What we look in a portfolio.
Right.
Well, I always look at email first, like the text.
Oh, really?
But yeah, of course, the portfolio. Like, I don't know. I think there is always, like, since we are a small team, there is like it has to be like kind of a human touch, or like something that we can relate and say like, oh, okay, I can see this person here for a couple of months, because we're still like a small team and it's really hard to say yes to everyone. So I think it's a little bit, I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but like have a little bit of a human touch, then I think it's something that I will look for.
You want to know if you got a similar sense of humor, or there's some kind of something to gel.
Or like a question that we were having, like when we were thinking of like producer or like a new member of the team. It's like, okay, can I see myself having a beer with this person? Or like, can I spend like a couple of hours not talking about work with this person? I think that is more or less the
like imagine we're just like 5. If you like, we need to be friends. So we have lunch together. We go we go hiking, and but I like in portfolios. I think, I don't know, like like some spark. So cheesy.
Freshness sometimes.
But it also, like, to be honest, it also depends on what moment we receive this email. What we are looking for is like, are we looking for a designer? Are we looking for an animator? And it really depends on what the studio needs at that moment.
Yeah, and also like, I don't know, like I said, like we're a small team, and like not small studio, but like we're kind of picky of the work that we do. So we can only, like, the way that we like to do projects, we can only manage to do like this certain amount of projects per year. Like we never have like more than 2 projects at a time. Or it could be like 2 projects, or like on one small project, because like we start to feel like we're losing control over the projects. Like we tried it and it doesn't work. Like for us, like, I think like 2 projects, like 2 like demanding projects. So that means like not so much people, and we can do like, I don't know, like limited amount of work per year. That's the way that we work. So it's not that we are like looking so much for like all the time for like new talents. It's not, I don't want to like not encourage people to write to.
To be honest,
don't email us.
It seems like we got it all, but no, it's not that.
We actually work with not a close group of people, but a group of people that we already know how they work. Or sometimes it's like Carmen says, we have a project that needs a very special something, and our light bulb lights us up, and we say, remember that mail we got of that illustrator, or but it's very rare sometimes.
But also like maybe like to see something different, like, because we've been looking the same things all over every day. So maybe like when you receive an email that has some different content than what you've been seeing the whole month, then it would be easier to remember. And then, as Roger said, it's like, okay, maybe when we have a new project, then it's like, okay, for me, it's easier to remember something different than something that look the same.
Do you feel like with social media and what have you, like sometimes when you're looking for inspiration, you kind of get caught in like your own creative bubble where, you know, you like a certain style, and obviously you can only find that certain style because the social media recommends that style because that's what you've looked at previously.
The algorithm.
It's quite hard to break out.
Yeah, it's.
I think like from my point of view, and I might be wrong, but like I think in the past few years we started to look like a lot less to references. Like,
Yeah.
in the first years, like especially me, like I was like a reference like geek, and all the time like you can like have a like Psy of 2019, and I will tell you like the film that it was. But in the past, like I feel like in the past like 2 or 3 years, like we are like when and you can tell like whenever you go for reference, like go like to 2018, like because you haven't seen anything for the past 4 months,
Yeah,
4
I
years.
don't know.
But I think, and it might have to be because like when you start in the studio, you have like less portfolio and you have to use more references.
Yeah.
And then when you build like, you know, more work that you like to show or is like related to the brief or whatever, you kind of use your same things. Or also like,
We have your go-to folder, don't you? Like your go-to inspiration.
that is part, and I think it's something that happened. Maybe we are older or something, but we don't look too much. I think we look less to references that we used to look.
Well, yes, but also without knowing, we have social media every day in our hands. So I think without, you are conscious, but you're looking for reference without even thinking that you're looking to reference.
Yeah.
So you have in your eyes the whole day. But yeah, I think when the project comes, I feel that we are looking for reference less and less. But yeah, maybe.
Can I bring back one thing Carmen said when James asked the question about portfolio? The first thing before you went to answer the portfolio, you said the email. Can I bring that back? The reason I want to bring that back is because I think it is a good subject. We just took what we look on an email, because my point of view is people doesn't have a fucking clue how to write email. And I think the first impression you have with a studio is how to write email. You have like 2 minutes to impress the studio, to impress the artist you want to work.
I just email my face.
And yeah, but it's a common thing. It's like just going through people sending email today, applying for work with us, and it's clear we know when they just copy and paste, because they can't even bother to say why, and say I want to work with your studio, and they can't even bother to write the name of the studio.
It's nice when you get it directed at a different studio.
Or when you get there, so it would be nice, can you guys give like, I don't know, your top 3 tips when you look in someone applying for a job for you, what you want to see on their email, just that shows that person's really interested, shows that person really look, your website and really applying to you. It's not like getting like an automatic gun and just shooting everyone and say, let me see what.
But I think it's not about that we have to be special. The one that has to be special is the one writing the email. And it doesn't matter that they copy paste and they send the same email to different studios. If it's a really good email, they're going to impress every studio.
Yeah,
but like, what is a good email? Like, to show
like, personalize a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. For me, it's to be personalized. You need to attach with you. It's in the end of the day, it's not someone connecting to shit. It's someone emailed to Carmen and why she want to work with Carmen.
But what Carmen said, they have to talk about themselves and how, I don't know, how deep they can be about it.
Yeah, and even like say like a little bit about the story, like about them, like not like write your fire, but like just say something a bit more personal, and of course like show that why you are emailing this studio and not someone else, and why we should pick this person and not someone else. And also just one thing that I have in my mind, like I don't look at CVs. I don't send CVs.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That's a creative thing though, isn't it, in a way? You've got your portfolio rather than a CV.
Yeah.
Like, please don't send CVs.
Like
I
my
kept on-
CV is like worse
I
than
don't-
all the CVs that I received.
I don't have CVs.
I've never done one.
Yeah, me neither. I have just one when I was looking for like be a bartender or something. like no.
I've never done. No.
I think mine's about 20 years old, 20 years out of date now.
I mean, maybe it's not a good advice, but like when there is like a CV, it's like, I'm not that serious that you need to send a CV.
I think it's appropriate to the creative industry, though. Like we're not a CV-driven industry. Unless, I mean, maybe if you're
doing like
role,
like
maybe.
if you go into, I'm not gonna say a studio like the same kind of studio we are, but if you go to people where HR then it's gonna pick, then yeah, it's fine. But I think when you're going for like, let's call like as a boutique, like it's a small studio, more creative, it's gonna be you guys picking that,
Yeah, exactly.
It's your work and personality that gets you the job.
Yeah, it's a lot more than you experience 5-star in After Effects, 4-star in anime.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how many stars I have.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have stars.
Basically, the inbox became a stage. And
I don't know. We should look at Bianca's
email.
internship email, because we only hired like one internship in the history of our.
And that's the only one that she said.
She's like our designer and feature art director of the studio, but she's like the only intern that we took. Like in the whole studio.
Yeah, and I don't want to speak.
I don't remember her email.
No, but also I don't want to speak about me, but like at least in the past, what helped, it was that when I put together my first showreel, that of course if I look at now, I don't like it, but I put like a video of me with like blue paint, and that it was something that people recognize, and that's how I had my first internship in anime. And my showreel, it wasn't really that impressive at that time, but I think it was that made Ed and Tom click. It was like, okay, I had a laugh. So I don't want to say that people should be like clowns.
No, but
it's about personality,
I mean, that's something special. You have to talk. You have to tell the story of the wire.
Did that vodka?
I think so.
The wire. You put the wheel, and Tommy said, "It's."
Yeah, I agree.
It's interesting what you say. Sorry, it's not. If you're applying for like an internship or whatever, it's not always necessarily about the portfolio. It's about about the showreel or whatever, or portfolio. It's about the personality and the ideas behind it. When you're applying for like an intern position, you can't really expect to have like an amazing finish on your work, but the ideas are the key.
Yeah, exactly. It's more like, I don't know, just have something that people will remember you a little bit, and for a good thing, or like for a good cause. But yeah.
Charlie on the YouTube, Charlie did a good question, and Ari also asked something similar. But is how do you guys keep things fresh? What keeps you guys pushing your style? You guys just launched a new short film, and it's really nice to see. It's a little bit, it's quite fresh. It's a different style there. There is a different, visual that we didn't see before. So, how do you guys keep that fresh? And
is that Charlie from Jelly?
Yeah, Charlie from Jelly.
Hi, Charlie. I think it was something that always like driven us forward. Like even like when we were just the three of us working in the studio and doing what we could do best before like being able to get bigger teams. Like we always try to push like different styles. I think we are confident about our voice and the thought and the humor behind each story, and we I think we embrace the challenges of doing fresh things. We are small studios, we can have options. I think that's one of the key things that we are like, if you think about it, we're just 5 like people at the moment.
I think
and
one of the things that makes it easier to be fresh is making different styles in every piece, and just keep that flow going, and it's something natural for us, that trying not to do the same that
at the beginning
last project.
At the beginning it was really tough, because we were like having like, whatever project, and we were like, even like, I don't want to say like more excited, we were like, eager in like starting the studio and trying to do like putting everything in each project and doing something different. And we will show our work to clients who have like 4 projects and they were all different. We're like, what is this? It's, like we all do, like we do different things, but we didn't have enough different things to, I don't know, it was, for a moment it was pretty tough. Now like we have our like more like thorough like body of work. It's nice, but I think it's something that we keep like challenge to ourselves and to keep us like entertained. And I don't know, like the short film was something like, there was no client, and it was like, and I think that was a challenge. Like, if we don't have a client, why, like, what is stopping us to do whatever we can? And like, what is that? And that's really scary, like the blank page, and like you don't have any feedback. And there was the 2 of us and Leo, the co-director. It's like, and I think it was more scary than having a brief, because like, if you can't do like something really fresh, it's because like you're not, I don't know, as good as you think. Or
pages are the hardest, man. Like to come up with everything yourself from nothing.
With that one, like especially in terms of like the visual style, I think it's, I don't know, it's something, that we believe is new, is fresh. Like we like treat every frame like maniacs. So we're happy that like people are enjoying it. We're actually having the blue beer.
Yeah.
We still have that was nice, a nice trade. But yeah, then we have one project that we can't show still yet, right? I think that's the best thing that we've made. Charlie knows, she's looking at.
Well, that seems unfair.
Hopefully we can share it soon. But yeah, I think it's something that it keeps us like pushing forward and keep like interest in this, and not only the scripts, like I think the humor and tone.
Yeah, but also it's our way to keep ourselves motivated, because I know like we are motivated when we are creating stories that we like, and we are creating like a thread and storytelling that we feel comfortable develop. But then the style and the freshness is something that we can still play with different things that we haven't tried, and it's like something that it's motivating us to keep going, basically. Because
there's a little bit of randomness in the process. It's a search.
Research.
It's a quest. It's a trip onto the unknown. I don't know.
It's like Indiana Jones looking for that tomb.
And the Holy Grail.
I wouldn't think we could like hold it together so well if we like repeat ourselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Like of course we get, if we do like some style of work and it comes back like with that reference, like we're really happy, and we always try like, of course, like to evolve it for this potential client or whatever. But I think it's something that's like keeps our minds like busy and trained and held. And of course, like if there is like a good storytelling or some clever stuff, like we've been doing like tons of illustration work like lately, tons, and kind of like this editorial thinking way, and like we love it, like just like having like to
just one image that
just one concept,
and we love it as
therapeutic just to have like concentrate on like one illustration.
And for us it's brilliant to have like just like we love not only like when we get an email, like not only looks for us for our visual aspect, but only for our minds. Like that's the best. Like I think it had started to happen like a few years ago, and I think like we're so proud of that, like having clients coming to us for the way we think, or who understand our humor, or I don't know. I think we really appreciate that.
So we've heard about the good shit, but what about the bad shit? Like, what's like the worst project you've worked on and why? And on a similar note, Like, how do you prevent burnout?
How to prevent them?
I think I don't know, sometimes our projects, like when you work for the like whole world, like their cultures, they're very different to our cultures, and sometimes like the communication can feel like aggressive or disrespectful. Like I don't want to name clients, but I think sometimes I think that's one of the challenges to working like to the whole world. Like the communication might be like difficult.
It depends, like, because sometimes you can have like a really simple project and it turn out being really difficult for a different reason. Maybe it's because the client has a different culture, maybe because in that moment the team wasn't the good, I don't know, wasn't motivated, or like or miscommunication, or maybe I don't know, maybe the style was amazing, but the message you are giving, you don't really like
language barriers are always incredibly difficult. Like that.
Language barrier, or also like the message you have, like if you don't believe it that much, then it's like, okay, or maybe I don't know.
You don't believe in our toilet paper? What?
Exactly. I don't know. Sometimes even like super high tech scripts that you don't know where this is going, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna do this in the best way possible. But if you think on what the concept is, it's like, I don't really know what I'm saying. And like, I mean, this is still fun, but like in some way, you kind of lose like kind of your perspective and your focus.
But then in terms of like burnout, I think we are pretty mellow studio. So no.
This is the Barcelona thing as well, right? It's quite
So
you say like earlier pace of life.
Studio, I don't think we could be having like personal burnouts, but not like a studio burnout. I don't know, like like we could be like having like our things as persons, but in terms of
we can't complain. Yeah.
No, I think I think again, like that's one of the things that I think we are most proud of in terms of the studio we built. Is like the human side and how we came out from Buenos Aires and could be like really, I don't know, even like not Buenos Aires, but like advertising could be like really stressful, or like crazy hours and stuff, and not to be like idealistic or so, but like we created this studio trying to be like to get away from that, and we follow like friends like Moth or Anime, and we have like so many advices from them, like yearly at least. So I think that's the aim, and that's to be like more human and relaxed and mellow. It's not that like we don't work hard, like we do, but if we can like really, like if we're happy with the human, and I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer or how to prevent burnout. What is the answer? But
I think it helps you being like three as main heads of the studio as well, because like if it is individually, you have a burnout, you can compensate with the other ones.
Yeah,
could be.
That I
I would say yes.
Could be,
I would say then yes, definitely. But also like, it's always nice to like share like our issue between each other, and at the same time, like, since, as I said at the beginning, we didn't know how it was to have a studio like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, it's always nice to like compare with our colleagues or like our friends that still maybe they've been living the process or the issue we're having now maybe a couple of years ago. So yeah, it's always nice to like compare or like
but we really
ask for advice to
like,
others.
especially monthly or playful. I don't know, like the friends, like like Carmen said, like they're maybe like a few years ahead of us. So every like problem or situation that we have, like they already went through that.
Yeah.
And like it's like we just call them and there was.
Yeah, and this doesn't mean that everyone has the good answer. It's like, okay, you ask for advice, and then okay, maybe this is working for one person or one artist, and then we still have we are still in a position that we can say, okay, we have opinion, we are still in the position to take our own way. It doesn't mean that we have to do what the others are doing. It's just like look for advice and see, okay, I can identify myself with this solution or not.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes. So guys, we're just passing 1 hour, so maybe we should pick like last 2 questions, James.
Yeah.
Lana asked on the YouTube, what was the biggest project you guys ever take on?
Biggest?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Kettle was a big
maybe because depending on the scope or the brand or
I think the biggest ones so far was the Kettle One campaign, the vodka campaign that we did with Jelly. That was I think I don't know, like we couldn't believe that we could work with that style, like doodle on a napkin style. It was like
and also for me
perfect.
personally, like it felt like after we've been working in Kettle, I went to Blend to the festival before COVID. I still not believe it. I was there, but anyway. And when I was there, I passed in with different artists and I think it was with Menar and Nicolas Menar, and he was like, I lose this. I lose this picture and you won it. And I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe it. So I think that was big, not only for the scope, but also for like people competing against us and see, I think it was like a little window of like showing that we are here and showing our like people that we admire that we can still beat.
I think anime was on that too as well. I think our friends from anime were in that. It just all. I think
Did you throw it up and go, hey?
I think we knew about the award because of Tom, who texted us like to congratulations before we knew. So it was crazy. But I think like a small studio, we had luck, and we put tons of work, and like at least once a year or 2 a year, like we kind of like fight with the big ones. Like maybe just get 1 out of like 6 that we fight, and it feels like, and we can, when we get those projects, we can really like go out and build a team that we want, and all the people that we couldn't hire before, and just do the work that we want to do. And I think that was like we created like 12 videos in 10 weeks, 12 weeks. It was amazing, and like the humor was beautiful, the style was amazing.
I think it was like for us, like the definition of big was not only for the amount of work, but also for the team and for all the elements together, like the humor, the style. So I think it was like the perfect combination.
And also as professional thinking and the managing and the communication with the clients.
That was an example of having like people in 3 like different time zones. That was that project. For like 12 videos in a few months.
It's just nice to get a client that likes the the creative side mixed in with a good scale project as well, because that's quite unusual. Normally clients aren't that brave.
Definitely.
Absolutely,
Do you have any other questions?
Do you want to pick one, James, our last question?
Andrea is asking about the name, but he should have been here earlier.
I just replied. Andrea, you can watch. It's gonna be live, not live, but it's gonna be up on our YouTube channel. You can recap that and know this story.
We can ask if your studio's on Tinder, how would it describe itself? Because I always like that one.
It's a good one. I saw you ask that to Margot.
I want to keep it consistent.
I'm gonna get ready for that.
Good. Let's get that. It's a good end as well.
I think like we, in a description, will say like no weekends, no overtime, and we pay early.
Wow, that's a good advertisement.
And free beer.
Free beers. That's good. Guys, I think it's a good way to finish. first, thank you so much, guys. It's been quite
Yeah, huge thanks.
inspiration as well, and it's nice to know a little bit more about you guys, and share a little bit more information, especially with like how to apply for work. I think it's always nice to give tips to people as well. It's just after this pandemic, seems people got worse and worse how to apply for jobs. It's always good. But thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching. Anything you want to say, James? Or you guys?
Gracias.
Yeah.
Gracias.
So we'll probably have another show in about a month's time.
Yeah,
it's
gonna be the Christmas
on
one.
YouTube and all that.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Take care.